Hello, and welcome to Daily Space for today, January 8th, 2020. That's going to take some getting used to. Anyways, most Mondays through Fridays, our team will be here bringing you a quick rundown of all that is new in space and astronomy. Usually Wednesdays are for Rocket Roundup, and today's going to be a tiny bit different. Rather than cover all of the launches that occurred in these past few weeks, I'm going to just give you kind of a year in review. So with that said, let's get at it, shall we? As I find all the things. Ha! I'm not set up. That's okay. Editing magic will fix this. Editing magic will fix this. All that time talking, you would have figured I would have been set up. Alright. Nope, not that window. Still not that window. Why won't it find that window? Ha 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 ha. I am only slightly mortified. There it goes. I found it. Alright, cool. So yeah, we're gonna do a year in review. And yeah, let's do it. 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 Feel free to ask questions while I'm doing this. I will do my best to answer them at the end. And yeah. I think we can do this. I think we can get through it together. Look at me making all the mistakes while, things happen. Okay, so first up is... If I find the button. Alright, so first up... This is always awkward. I need a gazillion more monitors. Alright, first up, we're going to do the number of rockets launched because this is Rocket Roundup after all. So yeah. There were 97 successful rocket launches out of 102 total launches, which gives us a success rate of 95%. Not perfect, but not too shabby either. So, who won the space race in 2019? If you guessed China, you'd be correct. According to Gunter Krebs' careful tally, China has launched 34 rockets. Yeah, 34. That's almost 3 a month for the entire year. Space enthusiasts on Wikipedia agree with this number. And yes, I know, I shouldn't use Wikipedia as a first source, but there's just so much to keep track of. Now, depending on how you tally up launches, who comes in second and third can vary. If you go by spaceport, China is still in the lead. Nobody's going to pass China. Russia comes in second place with 22 launches, followed by the US with 21 launches. But wait! If you tally everything up by the rocket's country of origin, yes, I'm being totally serious, the rocket's country of origin, the numbers change. Rocket Lab's Electron rockets are manufactured in the US, so those 6 rocket launches get added to update America's total to 27 and boost them to second place. And those Soyuz rockets that Arianespace launches from Kourou, those are manufactured in Russia, so Russia's tally gets a small boost to 25. Yeah, yesterday I learned there's more than one way to tally who launched the most rockets. It seems a little silly, which is why I do both country of origin for the rocket and spaceport. Okay, now for the largest and smallest rockets launched successfully of 2019, weighing in at a massive 1,420,788 kilograms, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy was the heaviest rocket launched last year. To put that number in perspective a bit, that's 237 male African elephants. the massive 237 male African elephants, not the elephants stacked on top of each other. Just to clarify. The smallest orbital rocket launched successfully last year was Rocket Lab's Electron, with a mass of 13,000 kilograms. In case you're curious, that's just over the combined mass of 2 African male elephants. Yeah, that's a huge difference. If you were to put the 2 rockets side by side, the Electron would be dwarfed by the Falcon Heavy. The Electron is 17 meters tall, which makes it not quite a fourth of the height of the 70-meter tall Falcon Heavy. And I have an image up on the screen, and I wasn't able to put anything for the scale of a human. So I'll just kind of try to show right now. But a human is really only as tall as the engines on this Falcon Heavy. That's it. That's it. And the Electron is taller than the Falcon Heavy is wide. But not by much. The Falcon Heavy is, I think, 12 meters wide, and this is 17 meters tall. But yeah, the size difference between the largest and the smallest rockets launched last year is just staggering. Just staggering. And also, in number of things that we kept tally of, there were 3 lunar attempts last year, one each by China, India, and Space IL. Unfortunately, only the Chinese lander had a successful soft landing. Space IL's Berry Sheet and India's Vikram lander both crashed into the lunar surface. It's not all bad. Chandrayaan-2, part of India's lunar mission, continues to orbit the moon collecting data for India's space program. Chang'e-4, the Chinese lander, that mission was a complete success. And the lander and the rover, I'm probably going to slaughter this, Yutu-2, are doing science of their own. The Chinese lander took the first panorama from the far side of the moon after it touched down last year. What you see here on the screen is only a portion of the panorama. It's huge. But you can see the solar panel right here from the lander. And then this over here is Jade Rabbit, the rover. Speaking of rovers, there were 2 wheeled rovers exploring other worlds last year, NASA's Curiosity and China's Yutu-2, or let's just call it Jade Rabbit. Together, they covered just over 2 kilometers of alien terrain. Curiosity traveled 1.71 kilometers on Mars, and Jade Rabbit traveled a bit more than 357 meters during its year on the lunar surface. Even though it hasn't covered a lot of ground, the Jade Rabbit belongs in the Little Rover That Could club. It is now the longest lived lunar rover with a mission duration of over a year. Previously, the Russian Luno... I really need to work on my pronunciations, huh? We'll just call it the first... Previously, the first Russian lunar rover held the record at 321 days of operation on the lunar surface. And that was set many, many, many years ago. And finally, a moment to recognize some of the spacecraft missions that ended this past year. In no particular order: Opportunity Rover, Jason 2, Super Low Altitude Test Satellite, Van Allen Probes, Mars Cube 1, and the Asteria spacecraft. And short but sweet, that's all I have for you today, guys. I have a comic up on the screen right now. 4 panels from XKCD. First panel, 2010. After 6 years, spirit is down, but opportunity is still going strong. Another scientist says, tough little rover. Second panel has opportunity scooching around on the Martian surface. It's labeled 2015. 11 years. Wow. Wasn't the original mission 90 days? This is starting to get weird. Third panel, 2 scientists talking to each other. 2023. The battery is totally disconnected. How can it still be moving? Given what it did to the Mars 2020 rover, we may never know. Fourth panel. People on the Martian surface looking out over a cliff. It's labeled 2450 terraformed Mars, Martian Imperial Capital. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. What's that dark area? That's Opportunity's half of the planet. We must never go there. But Opportunity didn't make it that far, which, yeah. I'm not sure if Opportunity wins the medal for the longest living rover or the longest lived rover, but that's definitely something I will have to look into for another episode. But yeah, that's all I had for you today, guys. I know it's short, but there was just so much information to kind of sift through and pick out and decide what to include, what not to include. I'm sure I left things out. I do see somebody that had asked how many things were launched by SpaceX, and I will give you the same Wikipedia entry that I used for some of these graphics. And as soon as I find chat again, I will copy paste it here. We will work you more later. Yes, Larry, it's been a very busy week. It's been an incredibly busy week. And there's just a lot. So how many SpaceX launches? There were... Come on. It doesn't want to tell me. I think I can do it by rocket family. There were 13 Falcon launches this past year. And there were... That's both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. And there were 26 Long March rocket launches. Do you have a breakdown by rocket or by launch vehicle? Wikipedia does. Wikipedia totally has that. Let me see if I can get this up on the monitor. And we can look at that article together. Because it is fascinating. There's just a whole lot. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. So here we go. So here it is. Here is the Wikipedia article that I pulled, that I used as a first source for a lot of things. So by rocket, I have Ariane. It looks like the mouse over isn't working for whatever reason. It looks like Ariane was 4. Atlas was maybe... Oh, there we go. Atlas was 2. Ariane was 4. Delta had a total of 3 launches. Electron had a total of 6 launches. All of the Falcon was here. So there were 2 Falcon Heavy launches. There were 8 reused Falcon 9s. And there were 3 new Falcon 9s launched. And I think the rocket that was actually launched the most was... It depends on the source, and I think that's why I left this off. is it's either, I don't think this graph is totally updated for everything. It's either a Long March 3 or it's a Soyuz 2. I think it's really a Soyuz 2 and this just hasn't been updated. I think Soyuz 2 had 13 launches last year. What are the others? It doesn't really say. It probably includes things like the Sapphire, the Smigmar, the Vega, because Vega's not on here. Oh, no, Vega is on there. The Ellipsion, the GSLV, the H2, Hyperbola, Zheilong, Pegasus, because Pegasus isn't on here. So I think it's just all the other rockets that were launched this past year. How many fairings and boosters were recovered? I don't know. Oh yeah, and the Universal. I don't know why Universal's not... No, here. Universal's right here. Universal is marked as UR. So Universal is totally marked. How many fairings boosters were recovered? I don't know. There's just it's been busy. It's been busy. I have already vowed to keep better data for myself this year. How many space toilets were lost? I'm gonna go with at least 4. How many different toilets went up, even temporarily? Just one type of toilet went up. That's it. It's all been... Toilets are on Soyuz craft, and so far all the Soyuz craft has the same kind of toilet, so yeah, it's just been the one kind of toilet. I have already vowed to keep better notes myself this year, because going back and trying to collect all that information after the fact is low-key a nightmare. There's just so much. Refsmat says, space toilets aren't lost, they complete their missions. Yeah. There's just, it's a lot. I know it doesn't seem like there's a lot to keep track of, but until relatively recently, I didn't realize how many rockets went up a freaking month. So you're saying about 20 Soyuz toilets came and went? Did we really send up that many crewed Soyuz missions? Because the Progress vehicles don't have toilets. And there's a Soyuz rocket and a Soyuz craft. And the Soyuz craft is launched on the Soyuz rocket. I know, it can't get any more confusing, right? The Progress doesn't have the toilets the Soyuz do. So neither the SpaceX or the Boeing demo flights had toilets, asked Bad Panda Bear. I doubt they did. Here's why. They only need to test the weight. They don't need to really have things that they don't really need to have things that take up more than weight. They don't need to, the toilets aren't cheap. They don't need to essentially just ruin stuff unless they specifically done that. But I think a lot of that's just going to be hush hush, and it's really not all that easy to find information on this stuff, guys, without going and spending hours and hours and hours. So yeah. How many launches were aborted after takeoff? Well, both of Iran's launches were failures. I know that there was at least one, I feel like there was one Russian takeoff that was aborted, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Are we taking bets on who will win in 2020? I'm gonna go with... It's hard because it's between three and it could easily be any one of the three, and I don't know who has planned for what. So let me see. Who won last year? Sorry, I'm scrolling down to find it. Timeline of spaceflight. So we want 2018. So we want orbital launches. Why don't they have a nice little thing? Alright, so whoever did... I'm looking to see if there's a nice little graph on this one. They actually marked the suborbital flights. Or tried to, in the deep space rendezvous. Oh, there we go. Orbital launch statistics. There we go. That's what I was looking for. It looks like China won in 2018, followed by the US and then Russia. China won by like no small stretch of the imagination. I think it's safe to assume that China is going to win again. I don't know if I don't know if we'll really launch that many rockets to catch up. Anyways, here's some Cheerios and make it rain! Were there more military or civil payloads launched? See, these are asking all the real questions. Alright, hold on, Tinker. Let me go back and see. These are things I wanted to find out, like wanted to look at, but I couldn't. I don't know. That would have taken me... I really don't know, Keeper. It would have taken me much more time to really poke at that to see what all payload was what. So this is part of me wanting to keep better statistics for myself, because these are the numbers I'm interested in as well. It's just going back and collecting all these things after the fact and knowing I have to have something ready soon is not nearly as satisfying as going, okay, this is the ongoing tally. So I think that's what I'm going to do now, is just keep an ongoing tally. I know. I'm sorry I don't have all the answers to your guys' questions. These are all things that would have been fascinating to know. Like, I had wanted to know, like, what the largest and smallest satellite was. And then I realized the smallest satellite was probably going to be a kilogram, because that would have been any number of the 1 cube satellites that were launched. And the largest satellite, well, some of these are classified. Like 280 that was launched in early last year, almost a year ago. Like, that's classified. We don't know how heavy it is. We don't know what its function is. We know it's for an unnamed government agency, which, come on, we know it's for a spy agency. And China is notoriously secretive about their things, and I would say I would not be surprised that if it turned out to be almost half and half. So, yeah. Oh, Zuma failed to achieve orbit. Oh, payload separation failure. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we watched that one. Oh, this is 2018? I'm sorry. Look at me messing up. Here we go. Wait. Why are we still... Oh, because I forgot to hit the back button twice. There we go. Thank you. Because I was like, I don't know. People keep track of this stuff. It's just going back and being all, let's not use Wikipedia as a first source, can make it tricky. And even using Wikipedia as a first source is, and making sure that I'm pulling all the correct things it's tricky, y'all. It's tricky. So, as best as we know, running galleys will be fun to watch. Yeah, the best as we know running tallies will be, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. This is, feels a little more serious than space toilets. And eventually I do want to do number of space toilets in space over time, and, you know, how many space toilets have been. I want to do that, you know, by time, but these are all things that take time. So, yeah, I think the best way to just start this, to have something like this for 2020, is to literally start now. You want to know more about Ale 1. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I think they sent up Ale 2. So Ale 1 was, I don't think it's on here, but look at me. Ale 1 is a microsatellite created for the, it was literally, let's make fake meteor showers. Let's make fake shooting stars. And it was actually equipped with a deorbit mechanism, which I think is super cool. And there should be a second one already in existence, already up. Other than this has happened, and I think it worked well. It worked well enough that they sent a second one. It might do the thing. Keeper says, "Oh, is that proof of concept for the 2020 Olympics?" I don't know, but that would be ingenious. It would be ingenious. There's nothing up here for Ale 2. Also, see how a lot of these are in Japanese. That makes it even harder. When something is in a foreign language, it makes it even harder and takes me even more time to kind of parse through it. So, yeah. It'll be cool, but it'll be a while. Hanny's asks, is SpaceX currently the only rocket with any reusability? I think Electron was trying something. Hanny, yes, right now SpaceX, as of this moment right now, there is indeed plans for Electron for Rocket Lab to increase reusability. Shh. But right now, it's just SpaceX. Rocket Lab is going to catch the incoming first stages with helicopters and parachutes. It's going to be pretty cool. They're just not to that point yet. They really aren't. I think they're going to start that with launch number 7 or launch number 10. And I believe they are, let me look this up real quick. I believe they are only on list of Electron launches. See, they had 4 launches in 2018. 2017 through 2018 is when they had their first 4 launches. They had... No, they did just have launch number 10. I think it's launch number 11 that they're going to start trying to capture. I know they caught telemetry. Yeah, the 10th launch had a reaction control system to orient the booster and live gather data. So they're going to start it soon, but I don't know how soon. It should be within this next year. Yes, bathroom infrastructure is very important. Oh, look, she's sitting. And there probably is a cool video. Again, I really didn't know what all to cover with this whole year in review. And between realizing the things I couldn't do and picking out information and sources for the things I could do, this was a first. And I think it'll be better next year. I think it'll be better next year when I have my own. But yeah, when you think about it, that there were, oh my gosh, 102 launches over the span of 12 months. That's a lot to keep on track, on top of. And there are all sorts of people, not just me, that are very much on top of all of this stuff, much better than I am. And I lean heavily on them and their work to just bring Rocket Roundup to you guys, because there's a lot, and diving into this within this past year or so has just been, it's been eye-opening just how much happens, and I hope it's been eye-opening for you guys too. Is anything going up, any interesting things going up in 2020? I don't know, because my personal thing is that it's dead until it launches. There's nothing that I know about that I'm super excited about. I haven't had enough time to work that far in advance. But yeah, I'm just excited to see anything go up. I'm excited to see progress. So yeah. Any other questions? I know this was really short today. And I know I don't have all the answers y'all want. We can talk about what's going to launch next, which I think I actually have a whole, week. Ramp says a whole lot of Starlink satellite launches that are going to blot out the sun. Is Mars 2020 supposed to even go up in 2020? So that's a good question. And yes, we are potentially, we're going to have US crewed launches. I'm trying not to hold my breath on that. I want to make sure failure's an option until people are involved, until lives are involved, and then failure's not an option, and I really want to make sure that everything is just good. Just good. See, the next launch that looks like we might have any chance of streaming is not going to be until the 15th. And then there will be an Arian space launch on the 16th. So we'll have a little bit of time. And it looks like the Crew Dragon in-flight abort test is actually going to be later this month on the 18th. So yeah, we're going to stream that. I don't care how early I have to wake up. We're going to stream that. And everything beyond that is just kind of thing. Ooh, ELB Imperial Stout. Nice. Nice. I'm just kind of scrolling through. There's just a lot to keep track of. It looks like, no, Launcher 1 still doesn't have a real date, so I don't trust it. I don't know where the Starlink train is now. I know there are sites that track that. I'm looking at Rocket Launch Live, and I'm looking at all the things that just have slid around, and there's so much. Don't start. There's so much that slides around with rocket launches that, unless it's a really big mission that's gotten a lot of publicity, honestly, it's hard for even me to get super excited about. There's just so much, people. There's so much. Okay, if there's no other questions, I'm gonna pretty much wrap it up. This sounds like it should be an easy-ish episode to edit or re-record simply because it's so quick. Simply because it's so quick. I'm just trying to find all my windows now. My dogs apparently have opinions. So this has been a production of PSI, that's Planetary Science Institute, working in collaboration with Youngstown State University here in Youngstown. Why is it so cold outside, Ohio? Oh, bits for the doggos! And make it rain. Bits for the doggos! Thank you for the bits for the doggos! Well, here, you can lick out the bowl. How about that? I'm never gonna see that bowl. Larry adds, I hope people will launch in a carbon neutral fashion like SpaceX is planning. I hope so too. I hope we can do further space exploration without really hurting, you know, our own planet. We are here because of you, so thank you to each and every one of you for your support, your patience, everything. We could not do this without all of your stuff. All of your support. And yes, Paranor has a reminder that there are not one, not two, not three, but 4 simulcasts today. 4. Today is a busy day. So at 3:15 Eastern, we'll have the first simulcast of the press conference with me. And then at 7:15 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the second AAS press conference simulcast with Paranor, which will then transition into the third simulcast of Weekly Space Hangout, and then transition into the fourth simulcast of Astronomy Cast, which is going to be a double episode. So yeah, it is technically 5. So yes, today is a busy day. It's a very busy day, so thank you all for your support and your patience while we muddle through this busy day while our fearless leader is in Hawaii. She's really busy in Hawaii. Don't think this is a vacation. She's super busy. Broken Symmetry says, you get a simulcast, you get a simulcast, and you get a simulcast. Yes, that is today. That is today. It is totally today. Yeah, so again, thank you for everything. I'm going to do that awkwardly roll the credits thing, you know, as you do. And, oh, look, I wasn't even logged into Streamlabs. I can't roll the credits. Look at that. Look at that. Credits may not even run. Ha! Ha! It's been a day. More bits. I don't have anything else to throw at the dogs. I guess I can throw them good treats. Alright, what's next? What's next is me getting ready for... Alright. Alright, dogs got the good treats. Alright, what's next? Next I should be actually live in about another hour. Is... the next AAS. Are bits added to the bar at the bottom of the screen? We have to do it manually, and I don't know when the last manual sync is, so there is that. So, yeah. Oh look, credits are rolling. Alright, awesome! Things are working. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, really, thank you. So wherever you are in the world, keep being awesome, and have a wonderful insert time of day here. And I will see you all in an hour. Oh boy, I will see you all in an hour. Bye!